It really doesn't matter where one lives in the world. If God wants to teach us a lesson about faith and a faith lesson or a lesson in His protection or whatever, I mean, He can do it anywhere. He chose to give us our own story while we lived in Ghana. We had a situation where John had traveled to Abidjan, and while he was gone, during the night, we had thieves, and they came in. All the windows have thief bars, rogue bars across the windows, but they had managed to break in the living room, just crowbarred them apart and scooted in. But so I wake up in the morning and open my bedroom door and come down the stairs, and I see basically kind of an empty house. I mean, they had they had taken curtains off the windows, pictures off the wall. They had rolled up the carpet, and there were marks, hand marks on the walls leading partway up the stairway. And I was just in such shock that that had happened, and we had wonderful Christian friends who came around us, and we all just together prayed just for God's peace and His protection over us. And I just envisioned these angels just surrounding our place. And so I felt safe. And 2 nights later, we heard a little clink downstairs. And there was nothing left to take except the windows themselves. And so that's what they did. So John gets his baseball bat, opens the door, and he gets all the way down the stairs. He sees one of the thieves, and John, at that point, he thought, well, I can either clobber the guy because his back is to me, and I could probably kill him with this bat. But for some reason, at that instant, he decided to take the bat and just bang it on the terrazzo floor. And it made such a loud popping sound in this now empty house that everything is just echoes, that the guy just leaped up, and then they were gone. He was gone. The whole group of them was gone. But now came the problem for me, because I had imagined these angels all around us, and somehow the thieves got through that band of angels, and God let them come the second time. What that did for me was, I thought, God, I can't trust you now. Now what am I going to do? Because you let the thieves come after we had prayed, and I was just so sure that we were going to be, we were protected. They never tried to touch us. But I didn't feel safe anymore. I didn't feel like I could trust God. And so, I just wasn't sleeping well at night. And within that year, we moved from Ghana to Liberia. And it was very interesting that my fear went with me to Liberia. And we lived in a house that had wood floors, so every creak, and we had a tree that touched the roof. So any wind at night, every sound was a possible thief. And I said, John, I think I hear something. And he'd have to get up and check. And well, this went on a year and a half into our time in Liberia when we came back to the States for a couple months. Well, then we were, nobody has bars over their windows in America. And I thought, now anybody could break in. Just walk into a house in America. Just, it'd be so easy. My fear just kept moving with me until finally I got so tired of being fearful. And I got weary of not being able to trust God. Just in that one area. I was trusting Him fine in every other area, but not that one. And finally, it was like, there were times I would just cry out to God to help me, because I was getting tired of being fearful and not trusting God, but I just didn't know what to do with this. But finally, God used the verse in 2 Corinthians 12, 9, and 10, where God said, my grace is sufficient for you, for my strength is perfected in your weakness. And I realized that this lack of trust had become a weakness. It was like a weakness in my armor. Like there was this hole in my armor, and Satan just knew right where to attack. That was none of the other areas, I was fine trusting God in any other area, but this one thing of safety, I couldn't trust Him. And so this hole was where Satan just kept attacking. And so now it was like this weakness. Well, that was another one of those transformation moments for me, because it was like from that time on, I realized, okay, God, I can't handle this thing anymore, and it's a point of weakness. So whenever I feel fearful, I can give it to you because you know what to do with my weakness. Now where I'm weak, I can experience your strength. And so it was revolutionary to me, and God did use that, to do something in my life that was very strengthening ultimately to me in my faith.